Do you like Bill Maher?
Yes, he creeps me out just slightly. Like, he didn't creep me out. Like, I got to dial in because between humor and politics, you kind of, are you serious? Are you joking? So yes, I do like Bill Maher, but I have to be in the right mood. And I got to be dialed in for Bill Maher, or I miss most of the stuff.
I used to watch him on HBO all the time and thought it was hilarious. I mean, I just thought as a stand-up comedian, he was really, really funny. He's now become, I guess because of politics, he's become much more precocious. I do really respect the fact that he will say whatever the hell he feels, and he stands behind it. He's not a shot guy. No. He will tell you how he feels about something, and if you don't like it, he doesn't give a damn, and I really have respect for that. Well, I like that. I may not agree with it, and I mean, he does push the envelope, but there's a lot of people that love him for doing that. He appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live and was talking about Norm Macdonald's life. He said a guy who was never afraid to be too subtle for most people. He said he did jokes he wanted to do, and I love that.
Did you hear that? Say it again. Too subtle.
Yeah, never too subtle. Yeah.
Right.
He put the B back in subtle. And then he continued. He said, I love that I found out he died after he died. Because to me, it's show business. We're here for the audience. We're not here for us. He said he was not judging anybody, but he's not on board with A-listers sharing all their health battles with the world. He said, sometimes the audience loves that. I've never been in that camp. I'm not here to burden you. I'm here to lighten your burden. So the fact that I didn't know about this, nobody knew about this, good one, Norm. He kept it to himself because he's in show business. He's here to make you happy.
Who's the actor, I'm sorry, in Black Panther? Do you remember?
I don't.
You know what I'm talking about, I don't remember his name, but he was dealing with cancer while he was doing Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew. That's a Tony Curryism. Tony Curryism. That's a Tony Curryism.
Well, it is. I mean, we're here to entertain. We know your people. I didn't know he had cancer for the last 9 years. Now, you probably could have gotten online and found out about it, but he never advocated for cancer research. He never got out and did anything. He never talked about it. Whenever you saw him on TV shows, it was never brought up unless the person said, hey, by the way, we're praying for you through your situation. He would never talk about it. And Bill Maher loved the fact that he found out that he died after he died.
That's so Bill Maher. That's so Bill Maher. No, I mean, I understand and I get it, just the way he said it.
Oh, yeah. Only Bill Maher can have something somewhat controversial to say about a guy who just died.
That's right.
But I mean, I get it.
Did he know him? Do you know if he knew
him?
Yeah,
they were friends.
I mean, it's your, I mean, listen, you said it. Your job is to do that. And now one thing I don't think is appropriate is, and this is it's not controversial, but this is a call. Let's say you do have cancer or some sort of illness and you're trying to work through it. I'm using the opposite example. Robin Roberts from right? I mean, she was sick, super sick. She was losing her hair, So the question becomes, at what point do you not try to pull it off anymore? Do you pull back? Do you try to fake it? Until which time either you look or feel so bad that you've got to say something. Now, Norm Macdonald, what was he doing for the last 9 years?
He's been doing podcasts. He's been appearing on late night television shows.
He's been on shows with cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the whole thing is if it's obvious or you're sick, I think you come clean.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's the kind of the thing is everybody knows, don't try to play it off. Obviously, Norm Macdonald was in a position to... Nobody knew.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay, but I do think there comes a point where I got cancer.
Yeah. And I think the fans understand that as well. I mean, sometimes you want to let people know what your situation is because you want the prayers. You need people to think about you. I don't think people do it from a sympathetic standpoint or empathy. I don't think they want people to feel sorry for them.
No.
But some people do. But I mean, for the most part, I think they want to share their story. And again, then you take it to another level. Are you using your story to get behind a particular cause or a platform to further research for whatever the situation is? We had Robbie Glenn on yesterday talking about his son and the syndrome, and we love helping out that way. But from a celebrity standpoint, and I've told you this a million times, and I used to tell everyone I work with.
No one cares you're tired. I can do it. Yeah. No one cares you're tired. No one cares you're sick. No one cares that you've had a rough day.
They don't.
You got on my ass one of the first shows we ever did together.
Yeah.
After I was a guest.
Yeah.
And I said something like I was tired because it was at night.
Yeah.
And we went into break, and you're like, "Don't tell anyone you're tired." I'm like, "Why? I'm just tired." Nobody cares that you're tired.
Yeah.
No, I was like, oh, okay. Well, nobody cares you're tired. You know what, though? Here's what's something that's interesting, that's unique. We've talked about this. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
See, I think any other, I can't even think of it. Only comedians are in this bind.
Yeah.
Because you can't, it's hard to say, I have cancer. I mean, you could make it funny. I mean, you could do, but even if you made it funny, it's not funny.
No.
Like, that's the thing. You could try to make light of it, and you could try to make fun. Richard Pryor did stuff about the burns and all that kind of stuff, but he wasn't dying of cancer. And I'm trying to think of any other profession where, by the very nature of your diagnosis, it sort of ruins your ability to do your job.
Yeah, well, we saw it on the last Comic Standing. Who was the kid that had? Did he have MS or what? It was a comedian and it would make fun of his disability.
But that's different.
And
I mean, it's not,
I know, but I mean, it was something that he was challenged with and going through. And after it's like a fat comedian doing fat jokes.
Yeah,
it's funny, but okay, those are the easy ones.
But dying jokes are not the same thing.
No.
And I think obviously for comedians, you by definition you can't. How do you do that?
Yeah. No. Again, it would take Bill Maher to say.
Bill Maher could do it.
But in a way, there is something really romantic and beautiful about the way Norm Macdonald died. It was a shocker because most people didn't know he was going through cancer. I didn't. And so when I saw it 61, I was like, what in the world happened?
Right.
It was surprising. But there is something intriguing, romantic. So I don't even know what the word is, that he had this illness and that he didn't let a lot of people know about it.
Well, and also, and I mean,
because that is a sign. Psychologically, you're going to blow me up here, but that seems like a sign of strength. Like he had it. Like he figured it out. Like he was comfortable enough without having to burden other people with his disease.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is he had whatever pride. Sometimes, listen. I've known many people with cancer and other sort of terminal conditions. They don't want to tell you because what they don't want to do is have their entire life focused around, oh, I'm so sorry, we're praying for you.
Yeah.
Like after a while, it's like, so I think a lot of times it's on the burden of the person who has the illness to say things like, I appreciate it's okay. I'm okay. I'm good. No.
It takes a special person to pull that off.
It happens.
Because I would bet 9 out of 10 people want to let people know. And some people obviously take it to another level where they're constantly bringing up what their illness is because they're looking for that sympathy and they want people to and maybe it's because they need that support. I don't know what it is, but that is incredibly difficult.
Think about what you see on.
Think about if you found out you had cancer today.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, God forbid.
Terminal or just cancer?
Terminal.
I wouldn't say a word.
You tell Jules.
Well, yes, of course I would tell.
Well, okay, but sure, but I mean, and you.
Oh, I would tell you. I would tell. What I'm saying is, there would be no public. I was trying to think if there's any celebrity that we've known who has come out and said, "I've been diagnosed with terminal cancer," and blah 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 blah. Like before they got sick or before they sort of had.
Magic with HIV, it wasn't cancer, but I mean, and at that time it was a death sentence.
Well, he had to though.
Yeah,
that's what he had to because otherwise he couldn't just disappear. He had to resign. So, and I was even trying to think if on social media. I mean, obviously I haven't looked for this. How many people come out on social media? Lots of people come out on social media and talk about a family member.
Yeah,
my father was diagnosed. Please pray for it. But I was trying to think about how many people ever come out, and I'm sure there are, on social media and say, I've been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as much as my sister, my daughter, my kid, my, whatever. I don't see it that much. Because I think I think we feel, I mean, I don't know. I've never been through this other than patients that I've had. They're scared.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to figure it out. And they want the support. But it's kind of like you need the support in doses. It's overwhelming to have a gazillion people.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I don't.
Are you okay?
That's just a great topic because, yeah, you would tell your son, your daughter. You tell your close people, and you may even divulge it in some type of segmental kind of way. Maybe if you're on BRC, which you were on BRC yesterday, we were on yesterday morning.
I wouldn't unless I was never going to be on there again.
Yeah. But to put it on social media, I saw a post this morning, from someone saying, my great-great-grandfather's going through blah, 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 blah. And it was this long post, and I was kind of like, and I'm not even sure if this woman had seen her great-great-father. Please pray for him. And I mean, those come scrolling across my feed all day, every day, and I usually just like it, or it's on a heart with the hands, and then you're getting all these responses, and then there's these other people that are on social media. It's on Facebook a lot. Are the angels? I call them the angels.
What are they doing?
They're the ones that almost like they're looking for these posts about people being heard. So they
can pray for them?
So they can pray for them. Because and there's, I can't say because we're on Facebook Live right now. There's like 3 or 4 people that whenever I see a post about someone in the hospital or dying or hurting, they're the first ones that always post, praying for you, horrible news, love you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't even know you knew this person. It's like every time I get on now, I have mutual friends. But it's kind of like, it's almost like they're the angel of death.
Okay, so listen here. This is all the protocol stuff. What is it that you say? Because we have on social media, we have a lot of second and third connections.
Yeah.
Right? So people, I'm friends with some of your friends who I'm actually not friends with.
Yeah.
And they post something. I'm friends with your third friend, who I don't even know, but I have befriended them because I know you, and then they tell me that their cousin, their cousin is in the hospital, and they don't even say they're dying. They're in the hospital with a serious condition, and it comes across my feed.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm like, and you can't like it, right? Because
you can't. You've got to send something.
Well, I'm tormented because it's like, first of all,
because you care about human life.
I care about. Well, that's great. Because I care about human life, I'm thinking about you, right? Because that's the thing. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I don't know you.
I know because
I don't know your cousin. I don't want bad things to happen. But I feel like any words that I'm going to say. So I do. I'm not a big on my. I'm not a big. I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
So thinking good thoughts for you, keeping good thoughts for you, and then I look at it and I send it off, and I look and I'm like, what a.
Thank God for the emojis, man.
I look like a tool.
I know.
I look like a tool. Like, first of all, this guy's looking at it, and he may feel grateful. We do the whole that birthday. So overwhelmed by all the birthday wishes, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I can see this person looking at it going, who's he?
And why is he following?
And why is he?
And why is he commenting on my? Did you know him? Or do you know who he is?
He's not dead yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? I know. And then if you don't respond to it, then you think that maybe they know you got it because you follow them. Wonder why they didn't respond. I don't think people get that far.
I feel I feel guilty, and then I feel a little sneaky, just a little bit, and then it's like avoidance. I'm gonna go through.
Well, look at it this way. Maybe it's a compliment, the fact that you do find out this information because they like you enough or know you well enough that they followed you to send you that information.
No. That's the whole way social media works, right?
Well, that's on you, though, because you're the one that followed them because they're friends of mine. We had mutual friends.
No, I did a friend request, or they requested friends of me. Yeah. Oh, that actually worked.
So they asked,
Okay, we're friends. Okay, from now on.
Yeah.
Okay. My good deed for the day every day is I wish everybody who it pops up on my Facebook, everybody, even if I kind of don't know you, happy birthday when it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to everybody. And because you know what?
Coming from a guy that doesn't even tell his best friend when his birthday is.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you're on social media, and don't lie, you count how many birthday wishes you got. And
really?
Not count, but that you like getting we like getting birthday wishes, particularly with social media now, because you see the list. Okay,
but I also think that's why we spread bad news about great uncles.
Why? Because
it feels good. I mean, could you imagine if you sat there and you had like 1,000 followers and you're writing, "Hey, please put prayers up for my
And
brother.
nobody said
My
anything.
brother, he was
That's
in an
like
ATV
bullying.
accident, blah, 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 blah. And you got no response from it.
Right.
But you do it, and you can't wait to get on there and see all the
That's right.
praying for you. It's going to be okay.
Well, it does
blah,
make you
blah,
feel
blah,
better.
blah.
Yes, it absolutely makes you feel better. Well,
That's kind of like
look,
almost,
we talked about this. This is the why do you post things about your anniversary, or why do you post things? I know. No, but I do think it's okay. Well, it's all okay. I post things about if when my dad died, when my stepdad died.
Yeah.
I posted something because in part, and I had this in part, a lot of my extended friends, people that I went to school with, et cetera, maybe who knew my dad, would have had no other way of knowing and had a relationship with my dad. And these aren't close friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it was a respectful thing to do.